Hello, welcome to my new vlog. I hope you watched the last one where I took you with me to Sikkim. And after watching that video, if you felt a little inspired to go visit Sikkim and travel solo, then this one is for you. So, in this vlog, I'll talk to you about everything that I did in Sikkim. So, that's the agenda. I've also made notes and all, so that I don't forget basically. So, yeah, I'll try to keep it like short and crisp. So you can maybe just do your regular work, keep this on the side, listen to it, take some notes, and pack your bags and go. Okay, so let's get started. First thing is how to reach Sikkim. So there are two ways to reach Sikkim, and generally, most of them, what they do is they take a flight till Bagdogra, which is in West Bengal. From Bagdogra, it's almost 5 hours to Gangtok. So you get these shared cabs there. It's also called as Viz Ride, if I'm not wrong. So people take that, and there are five people in the cab, and you pay 1,000 per person, and you can book that cab prior as well, and you take that cab and you reach Gangtok. This is one way. The second way, which I took a flight from Pune to Delhi, and then there is a flight from Delhi to Pakyong. So Pakyong airport is actually in Sikkim itself, but as per my knowledge, Pakyong airport is not open throughout the year. Now, when I was checking like the best way to go to Gangtok, I did see the Bagdogra one, but it was 5 hours, and I did not know about this Vizride thing back then. I thought I will have to again take some private cab or taxi and then go from Bagdogra to Gangtok. But when I was searching for nearest airport, I saw Pakyong, and Pakyong was open and it was available. So I took Pakyong, and if you had seen in my previous vlog, Pakyong is like it was a that itself was an adventure, going on that flight. But it was good. Now from Pakyong to Gangtok, especially like my hostel, it's almost like an hour, so I could reach sooner. But note, from Pakyong you do not get these shared cabs that I mentioned. From Pakyong you have to take a private taxi. If you find someone there who's again going to the same place or same area, then maybe you can share and all of that, but I did not find anyone both ways. Now, travel within Sikkim. Generally, people travel through shared cabs because that's cheap. Otherwise, cabs, like personal cabs, are really expensive. So, know that. Now, the most important part, which is itinerary. I did not go through any travel agent. I did all the bookings by myself, and I went for 10 days. So 10 days, actually like 9 days properly, and 1 day here and there traveling. So I left on 24th, I came back on 4th. So yeah, 10 days like that. Okay, so let me take you through my itinerary. First thing, what I did before I reached, when I decided that I want to go to Sikkim and I decided my dates, first thing that I did was book my flight tickets to and fro. Now, if you ask me why 10 days, already it takes a lot of effort for you to go there, right? It's not a place which you can cover in 4 to 5 days. People do that, trust me, but if you want a complete experience, then at least keep a buffer of 1 week. Otherwise, you will feel like you took so much effort to go there, and then you were there for hardly 3 to 4 days. You did those regular sightseeing stuff, and then you came back. So I booked my flight tickets, and all I booked before going there was 2 days ka stay at Tagalong. Now, you might say that, okay, I mean, isn't it risky? It is, especially for a person like me. I love to plan a lot. And for me, generally, like when I travel, every day itinerary is fixed, but you cannot do that everywhere, is what I realized. Plus Sikkim, it depends a lot on the weather also, right? I cannot plan like 1 month pehle that on this date I will go to Nathula Pass, or on this date I will go to North Sikkim, and all of that. You have to figure a lot of things after going there. So I had only booked for 2 days, first 2 days stay at Tagalong. I had a rough idea about the places I wanted to go, but I did not book anything. Day one, I reached on 25th. I reached in the afternoon by around 2 o'clock something, and I hadn't slept the entire night because I had like a 7 hour layover in Delhi. So I thought I'm only going to chill that day. So I did not do anything on my day one. I was in the common area, I was meeting people, interacting with people, fixed my itinerary, and so that was a big relief. So that was my day one. Day two, with my dome mate, I went on a Gangtok tour. We covered 4 places. Tashi viewpoint. From Tashi viewpoint, you can see the Kanchenjunga peak. We couldn't see it that day because it was very gloomy. Gloomy, cloudy. And second, we went to Ganesh Tok. It's a Ganesh Mandir, Hanuman Tok, Hanuman Mandir. And fourth was Inche Monastery. It's the oldest monastery. So we covered only these 4 points. And then the cab driver dropped us to MG Road. And in MG Road, we tried out some restaurants, cafes, and all of that. So that's how my day two looked like. Day three was Nathula Pass. Again, for Nathula Pass, 1 day before, I informed my, the owner of Tagalong. He gets, all these permits ready. And I told him that I want to go to Nathula Pass. And he got my permit ready. And third day was entirely Nathula Pass. Now, Nathula Pass, you leave at 7:30 or 8:30. You leave at 8:30-ish. 8:30, right? 8:30, and we were back home by 5. My day 4, 5, 6 was North Sikkim, which is 3 days and 2 nights. Again, you need permit. In North Sikkim, which is day 1, on the way we went to Seven Sisters Waterfalls, we went to Naga Falls, and that's it. On day 1. Then we reached Lachen and we were in the homestay and all of that. Second day, we went to Kala Pathar and we went to Guru Dongmar Lake. Now, let me tell you something about North Sikkim. This is my personal opinion, that if you are someone who suffers from altitude issues or has breathing problems or any breathing related ailments, I would tell you should avoid North Sikkim. And if you're traveling with family, if there are like really old people in the family or really young kids also in the family, my personal opinion is avoid North Sikkim. So if you want to make a shorter trip to Sikkim itself, I would suggest do Gangtok, obviously. Go to East Sikkim, which is Nathula, because Nathula is like an iconic point, right? You should cover. And I would say go to West and South Sikkim, which is Pelling, and South Sikkim I did not cover, but it's really beautiful. Maybe next time. Even though my favorite part was North Sikkim because I really loved the place. It was like a very spiritual awakening for me. But if it's a shorter trip, then you can skip North Sikkim. Sixth day, we went to 0 Point, then we went to Yumthang Valley, and then we came back to Gangtok. Day 7 now, I decided to take a break. I decided to take rest. I did not do a lot on day 7. I just went with my Gangtok friends to Tibetology, and then we went to Nimtho, which is like a Sikkimese and Nepali thali place, and I tried Thongba, which is the famous millet beer. And if you had seen my reaction in the last video, you would have noticed that I did not like it. But I'm anyway not a beer person, so I did not like it. But if you're like in Sikkim, then you should definitely try it once. But then day 8. So day 8, I went to West Sikkim. So I knew I had only 1 night there. So my itinerary was very like limited. I knew I wanted to go to 3 places. One was Skywalk. If you had seen in the vlog, you get an entire view of the Himalayan range, and if the weather is good, if there's clear sky, then you can also see Kanchenjunga from there. So I went to Skywalk. Second was the Singshore Bridge. It's the highest suspension bridge in Sikkim. So I went there. And third was Lotus Bakery. Lotus Bakery, I had to go. Next day, I could see Kanchenjunga from my hostel itself. So that was my plan anyway. I just wanted to wake up early in the morning, maybe watch a good sunrise. And I actually did not know that you can see the mountain from my hostel. So I was very happy when I got to see it. And then on my day 8, I came back to Gangtok and spent time there in the hostel again with the people, and next day I came back home. So that is my itinerary. I'll also put a detailed itinerary picture somewhere here so that you can see and you can decide. Now let's move on to the next section, which is cost. Very important. So the total cost of my trip was around 45K, including flight tickets. It might seem a little expensive. You might be like, oh, it's just India and all of that. But there are two things to note. One is it was a long trip, 10 days. And second is it's a little expensive to reach Sikkim as well, right? Third, Sikkim is a little expensive, especially post COVID, because during Sikkim obviously depends a lot on tourism, right? And during COVID, it like the industry took a big hit. But yeah, that was the overall cost. Now I'll give you the split up. Okay, so flight itself took me 20K to and fro. Now stay. So for stay, in Gangtok and in Pelling, I stayed in hostels. Okay, so the cost per night for hostel is around 700 to 800 rupees. Now, North Sikkim is a completely separate thing. Like it's a completely separate trip. So I paid 3,500 rupees for 3 days and 2 nights. This includes stay and it includes food and the shared cab and sightseeing. I also paid 700 rupees extra here to cover 2 more points, but that depends on the entire group. So our entire group wanted to cover those 2 extra points, which was Lapatar and 0 point. Other than this, if you want to buy gum boots, which you will and you should, because you're like in the snow and all of that, and some people also get extra buy these rented jackets and all of that, that everything is separate. You have to pay for that. That's like 300 to 350 rupees is the rent. Apart from this, for Nathula Pass specifically, so Nathula is in East Sikkim. For Nathula, I paid 1,000 rupees for the entire thing, which includes permit and shared cab. So again, shared cabs are generally, it's like one sumo, and in that sumo, there'll be around 9 to 10 people. So this is how shared cabs work. Now, I also paid cab, like private cab for me from airport, and again going back to airport, that itself was 3,000, 1,500 for one way. I know it's a lot, but you don't have an option. If you don't have company, you have to. Now for Gangtok darshan, like luckily my dome mate there, even she wanted to visit places. So for Gangtok darshan, half like visit, there are almost 8 to 10 points, so we visited 4 points and we paid around 1,500. So it takes like half day. So if you want to visit both the places, like the entire Gangtok darshan, then it is 3,000 rupees, around 3,000 rupees approximately. So my last day I was in Pelling. Pelling I paid only 450 rupees for the shared cab one way, and 450 coming back. Pelling again, one mistake what I did was I did not go to the hostel directly after I reached Pelling. I directly took a cab there and went for sightseeing, because I did not know if I'll meet someone who wants to do sightseeing with me in the hostel, so that I can split the cost. Plus it was already afternoon, it was almost 12:31. So all the places, like they start shutting anyway, so I had to like take quick decisions. So again I took a private cab, and he took 1,500 again for 3 spots, 2 major spots and 1 Lotus bakery. So this is the cost bifurcation. I'll also put a picture up here somewhere about the cost split up, so it's easy for you to understand. And if you still have any other doubts, then please do let me know. So that is it I hope I've covered everything. But if you still have any other doubts, then please comment down below and I will answer them. And if you're actually planning a Sikkim trip, I manifest that it goes well and you have the best time of your life. Till then, take care, count your blessings, and keep going. See you in my next video. Bye.